Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Shri Gurudevaya Namaha. Om Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padambujanmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Graseka Karmane. Vishayananda Brahmanande. We are seeing this bliss aspect which we experience in objects is really the bliss of the self. The source of bliss, the source of joy is only one. And of course, you know that when the light reflects on a white paper, on the same light reflecting on different surfaces now looks differently. And on one surface it looks red, one surface looks dull, one surface bright, and all that. So the same Ananda, which is uniform, one, reflecting in different types of antakarana, turns out different. Some people have what we call, well, there are two ways to see that. There is degrees of bliss. For example, one person eats jalebi and he gets joy also, but the other one, when he eats the same jalebi, he gets the degrees of. And then there is jalebi joy, the laddu joy, there is roller coaster joy. Some people get joy from that roller coaster, you know. So besides the joy getting different names of laddu joy, roller coaster joy, whatever type of joy, people have joy from all sorts of things. Some sadist people get joy from sorrow also, or I don't know, from pain. So that joy has different names, but in addition to the names, there is also degrees. So in jalebi joy, there will be degrees now. In roller coaster joy, there will be degrees also. So two things about that joy, and all of that depends on the vritti in the mind. You see. So in the end, the idea is all of it springs from the self only. Last time we saw number 12, where we stopped. 12. Let us chant again. Vastu svabhavamashritya vyavasthatu bhayo sama anubhutyanusarena kalpyate hi niyamakam. So vastu swabhavam ashritya, depending on the nature of the vastu. Vyavastha tu ubhayo sama. What is it referring to? As illustrated in the two previous verses, it all depends on the nature of the vastu that will tell how much of light will reflect, for instance. Or in the two previous verses, water and wood were given, which we saw. In water, only the heat aspect of the fire enters or is reflected, and in a piece of wood, heat and light. So we see, though fire has the two gunas of heat and light, some vastu, some objects can only reflect one aspect of that, and some objects will reflect both the aspects, heat and light. So it depends on the vastu, the object. That was the point which is being made. And he said that is established by experience only. We know. We see from ordinary experience. And that's one of the wonderful things about Vedanta. From ordinary experience, the possibilities are shown. The possibility of two gunas being in a thing, but in a particular object, only one of the guna being reflected. In the very same way, in the case of Brahman, there are three. We don't call it gunas, three aspects, we say. Not qualities. They are not qualities. Satchidananda are not qualities of Brahman. They are, three of them are one and same. And there is a difference between a guna and a swarupa. Guna means a quality. Swarupa means the very nature of the thing. The very nature of the thing is existence, consciousness, bliss. All three are one and same also, but manifest variously in different objects. Now, in number 13, the explanation of this, see, first he gives the example of the water and the wood with regard to fire. Now he tells how or why that example was given, to show that in our mind Brahman is there, but only reflecting in certain types of mind. See, Naghorasu namurasu sukhanubhava ikshate shantaswapi kvachit kaschit sukhatishaya ikshyatam naghorasu namurasu sukha anubhava ikshate. Sukha is not seen in a ghora mind or a mura mind. That is the idea. The mind which has the vritti of ghoratvam or muratvam. Sukha is not seen in that mind. That is it. Two of these three types of minds which we discussed before, which he discussed before. What is that? One is ghora, means agitated mind, and one is mudha, which is deluded mind. Sukha is not seen in such a mind. That is the idea. A mind which is characterized by the vritti of agitation, or mind is characterized by the vritti of dullness, muratvam. In such a mind, there is no sukha. So, one more thing. When these type of sentences are given, or these type of ideas are thrown out, please remember, we are saying generally speaking. In Bhagavad Gita, when we say first 6 chapters is Karma Yoga, next 6 chapters is Bhakti Yoga, and next 6 chapters is Jnana Yoga, we are generally speaking. We do not mean to say everything in the first 6 chapters is only Karma Yoga. Here also, when we say in a mind that has Ghora Vritti, a mind characterized by Ghora Vritti, that there is no Sukha, or a mind characterized by Muratvam, there is no Sukha. We mean to say, generally speaking, because a lazy person also gets some joy, you know. He rock in the hammock whole day, and he also gets some joy. The idea is the muratva or the ghoratva, which is there in the mind, right, causes such other strong things in that mind, the agitation, means strong things like desire, strong things like fear, strong things like, in the case of the muratva, means even if he is having some joy, he will not be aware that I am joyous. He will always think, like, I'll give you an example. Lazy fellow, right? Soon as the boss goes away that side, he goes to sleep. He does nothing. The boss is not there. So that is laziness. That is muratva, dullness. So now that tamas will also cause him not to know that he is enjoying. At the same time, he is always expecting the boss will come anytime. He always thinks this boss will come anytime, so I have to be on the lookout. So because of that fear, that also now veils the sukha which he will experience. In other words, that sukha will be there in some degree, but he will not be aware. He will not be never be in a position. That person will never be in a position to say, "Oh, I am so happy with nothing." He will never reach that state. So generally speaking, these things have to be taken. And he says, "Shantasu api kvachit kaschit sukhatishaya ikshatam." That in a mind that is shantan, this is his third type. You remember 3 types of mind: shanta vritti, then ghora vritti, and mura vritti. So now the third type is being shantasu kvachit kaschit sukhatishaya ikshatam. It means to say, in that type of mind, the degree of sukha also varies. I told you, there's a variation in degrees. So when the mind is calm, it doesn't mean to say, and it's not to be taken like this. Okay, all of us sit down. All of us sit down now. We quieten our mind, make it quieter, quieter, and quiet. And then all of us will feel the same degree of shanti, or same degree of sukha. No. There is no such thing as same insofar as mind is concerned. So far as mind is concerned, everybody's mind is filled with all sorts of countless things from past, present, and future also, because he's thinking, when I finish this class, I'll go to garam masala and have some masala chai, jarak padak, and some masala chai. So his mind is filled with future, mind is filled with present. Present means his mind will feel he must be talking about me, That's present. And past, because he saw me coming out from garam masala. So using me as an example or whatever. See how many things the mind, and everybody's mind is filled with different. And that's why I told you, some people, they watch things happen. See, different people. Some people watch things happen. Some people make things happen. Some people ask what happened. He nonplussed, like he doesn't even know what happened. So different types of mind. That therefore here the sukha in every mind, even if the mind is shanta, the sukha will be different, greater or lesser degree. Then now in a very nice way, which we have done already, he analyzes why in a rajasic or tamasic mind, a mind that is characterized by muratvam or ghoratvam and muratvam, rajasic, tamasic, what actually causes, this is a non-deeper analysis, this absence of sukha. See, this is number 14. Griha kshetradi vishaye yada kamo bhavet tada Rajasasyasya kamasya ghoratvat tatra no sukham. Now, in regard to what I was saying just now, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, this acquisition of joy is described. It is described, joy is there in 3 stages. One stage is called as Priya. Next is called as Moda, and the third is called as Pramoda. You see these 3 words come in the Taittiriya Upanishad there. What a Priya means, I think of some nice object which I like. So the love of that object gives me some joy. That is, I am thinking of the object. Like when I last visited some, this is for real, some place in, that must be Calgary. I think it is Calgary. They have the biggest ice cream shop that I have ever seen. From here, this wall to that wall, they have ice cream. Oh, Mr. Shamkila, I remember that. They have this ice cream lined up like this. Wow, I have never seen so many flavors. And any colors and shades and ripples and you name it. Now, just to think that thing, right? To think about that itself is some joy. That is called a Priya because I like that thing. Now, that joy is there, and when I get one of that ice cream in my hand, that is called as Moda. Now I know that there is no chance of not having it. See, previously I'm thinking about it, but there's a chance I may not get it. But when I have it in my hand now, that is called as Moda. And when that ice cream lands on my tongue, that is called as Pramoda, that joy. So there are 3 types of joy they described in the Taittiriya Upanishad there. Priya, Moda and Pramoda. When I have it in my possession, it is called as Moda. When actually I get that thing on. And now you'll have to see how that works with different types of joy in the world, right? But these are the 3, Priya, Moda and Pramoda. Now, in these following verses here, this Priya, Moda and Pramoda will be spoken about now. And we'll see. With regard to each of these verses, you will see. He says, Griha kshetradi vishaye yada kamo bhavet. Tada, which means when there is desire for house and land and property and money and possession and this and that, adi is given. Vishaya. When there is desire for all of these objects, he said that kama, which is there, Rajasasya asya kamasya ghoratvat tatra na sukham. There is no sukha in the mind. The mind is agitated because this kama is born from rajas. The desire is born from rajas. And then what is there in that mind? Oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. And you see people will spend their whole lives, just have desire for this thing. I spend their whole life trying to get it. And when they get it, there is moda. And then after he get it, and there is moda, he doesn't get to enjoy it. There is death, he dies. Some rare one will have the opportunity to enjoy. But see, the karma, the idea is karma, which is there in the mind, makes the mind agitated. I want this. And he goes on craving, longing for that, and then goes on doing action for that thing. He says such a person will have no joy. Now I told you, please remember, there will be some bit of joy in the thought of getting that. They call it priya. It's not to be taken that Absolutely no joy is there in that mind. So that's in the thought of getting it. There will be some joy. So he says, because of the ghora vritti, born from tamas, born from rajas, there is no sukha in that mind. That person cannot have joy. No. In the next verse, that thing is continued. Siddhyena vetyasti dukkham asiddhau tad vivardhate pratibandhe bhavet krodha dvesho va pratikulyatah. So, in that mind that desires house and land and property and this and that, he says, now, what goes on in that mind? That kama, which is born from desire, kama esha, krodha esha, rajo guna sabudbhavaha, Bhagavad in Gita. That kama comes from rajo guna. That rajo guna, which gives rise to that kama, and actually, in Mahabharata, that karma is given even a desire born in the mind. Now see, if you have to study this mind and study this desire, if you have to study this desire, you have to really study the mind, because you have to get rid of that thing, isn't it? And we have done some studies. Studying something in the beginning is very, very important. You don't think that all of these things is not important. Study deeply the nature of the mind and what how things come in the mind. That is done in Mahabharata, done in Gita also. Kama janami te moolam sankalpat kila jayase. Kama, the Vedvyaji talking to the mind, talking to kama. He's talking to desire. How do you talk to desire? Kama, he says, in 8K, Sambodhan case, janami te moolam, I know your source. Sankalpat kila jayase. The smart nacha sankalpaishyami, therefore I will not make sankalpa. Kama, I know your source, how you are born. You are born from sankalpa. And sankalpa now here has to be taken, I think, very, very slowly. We have to think. When he says sankalpa, you are born from, kama is born from sankalpa, has to be taken in conjunction with Bhagwan's verse in 2nd chapter. What is that? That is dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. The human being, he meditates on some objects, he looks at some object. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate. And then an attachment develops for that object. In between there, one step is left out. That step is called a sukha adhyas. Sukha adhyas. Sukha adhyas means, adhyas word we studied, superimposition of sukha. That is called sukha adhyas. So, see what happens. I look at the object and I superimpose joy on the object, and then there I become convinced that that object will make me happy. Then there is somehow in the mind there the arising of the thought, I must get it. So in between, that object is going to make me happy. In between there and I must get it, in between that thing, or those two things combined, is called as sankalpa. The prior stage is sukha adhyas, that I superimpose, then means there is happiness in that thing, and the later stage, I must have it because it is going to make me happy. The combination of those two things is actually sankalpa. There is happiness in the object and I must have it. And of course, in different minds that will come out differently. Or one other thing, there will be, without it, the corollary of that, without that I am nothing. Without that I am dead. And this is, in the world, this is multiplied by human beings. Instead of making that less, every effort of human being is to make that more. Because all the advertisement and all the worldly things which are catchy and all is to make that thing more. So now, how that goes again? The person looks at the object, then superimposes joy on the object, which we call as sukha adhyasa. Then the person says, oh, without that thing I cannot be happy. Therefore I must have it. That they call as the sankalpa. Sankalpa and kama, they are very, very closely related. That's why the Mahabharata was kama, janami te mula, I know your root. Your root is sankalpa. I must have it. Without that, my life will not be happy. There's so much to think about that actually. Anyway, so now, here, once he has done that, right? See what other things go on in the mind now in this verse. He says, Siddhyet na va iti asti. Siddhyet na va. Vanava. Like that, it means to say. He thinks, I will get it or not. After all these things which I discussed before, just now, after that now he is thinking in his mind, what is going on in his mind? I'll get it or not. Siddhyet vanava. That's how the expression usually comes, but there is not enough space in that. Mita. Dukkham asiddhau tad vivardati. Now that dukkham is daily depanyaya, because of course tad is there down the road. Tad is referring to the sukham, dukkham. Actually, dukkham is daily deepa, means serving on both sides. Siddhyet vanava means I'll get it or not. When he's thinking that in his mind, that is dukkham. Because in that thinking, you see, there is an object. And you will know when you go to the store and you see something there. And the other person comes and they put their hand on it and you put your hand on it at the same time. Now who will get it? So anyway, the resources in the world, they are limited. So when I am thinking about something, siddhyet vanava means I'll get it or not. That is there with dukkham. That's what he means. Then asiddhau tad vardate. And in the non-acquisition of that thing, that dukkham vardate, vivardate, it increases because we didn't get it. I am so miserable. And I told you, I have done that with you before. Once that karma is there, anything thereafter is dukkham. Anything after that karma is dukkham. Pratibandhe bhavet krodhaha. And if anybody comes and obstructs that acquisition of that thing, then there is krodha, anger. And then dveshaha va pratikulyataha. And if the obstruction is such that well, actually, two things are given there. One is, if there is obstruction, then there is anger. And if conditions are not favorable, conditions are unfavorable, pratikulyataha, pratikul means unfavorable. If conditions are unfavorable, then there is hate also. So at the same time, while I get angry with a person for obstructing, I can also hate the person. So there are two different things which come up in him. Now, in a mind that has anger and hate, that mind cannot know joy. That mind cannot have any sukha. It is only dukkha. This is just the analysis as he goes along. That continues. Ashakyasche pratikaraha Vishadasyat satamasaha Krodadishu mahad dukkham Sukha shankapi durataha. In the two verses which preceded, the idea was calm, a desire for this thing, that thing, which is born from rajas, right? Now from tamas also. Ashakyaschet pratikaraha vishadasyat sa tamasaha. Now, in a mind that has tamas, then generally speaking, in a mind that is tamasic, the acquisition of the thing is very, very difficult. And even that acquisition is not possible, that object, ashakyaschet and pratikaraha vishadaha, the result in such a mind is despair, despondence. This is tamas now. It's called depression, despair, despondence, and all such gunas in the mind. Oh, I can't get it. Now my life is over. I don't know why I have such bad karma. He blames karma. He blames Bhagavan, he blames everybody, no. Why I have such bad karma? I could not get that thing. This is so depressing. If he is unable to fulfill that desire. So, that, and you know, that is like a, what they call that? A catch-22 or circular thing. Because of the tamas, he is not able to get it. And because of that, now he gets despair, a depression. And that despair, depression increases the tamas. And more now he is not able to get that. There's a word for that, you know.
Vicious circle.
A vicious circle, yes. He's caught in a vicious circle. No, and he said, now, krodadishu mahat dukkham. Krodha adishu, it means to say now in this krodha, just now which he described before, or in dvesha, which is the result of rajas, or here, which is vishada, means the depression or despair, all that, which is the result of tamas. He says in the adishu refers to all of them, right? He says in that mahat dukkham, there is great, so and sukha shankapi durataha, means even a hint of sukha is not there for that person. Even a little bit. What is given for here? A chance. A chance of sukha for that person is not there. It's dukkha only. That is the idea. Now, this is when he is thinking about the object and he's trying to get it and all of that. Now, when he gets it, what happens? He's thinking and he's not getting it, and one sorrow to the next associated with that mind. When he gets it, and this is where the wrong analysis is made by us, wrong ascription. Here the analysis is made, and we'll see what exactly is going on in that mind. Kamya labhe harsha vrittihi shanta tatra mahat sukham bhoge mahattaram labha prasakta vishadevahi kamya labhe harsha vrittihi. Now, upon the acquisition of that object, kamya labhe means on gaining the desired object. The acquisition of the object, he gets it, kamya labhe. Then what? Harsha vrittihi. There is joy. Shanta tatra mahat sukham. So now see, when he acquires the object, the agitation in the mind which was there, that agitation simmers down. So if the agitation simmers down, the mind has become now shanta, quiet. When the mind becomes quiet, then the sukha is able to reflect nicely in that mind. The ananda of the self is able to reflect very nicely. And he says, this is mahat sukham, great joy. Bhoge mahattaram. And when he gets it, he gets the ice cream. That's mahat. Then that is mahat sukha, means mahattamam sukham. And now when he eats it, that is called as mahattaram sukham. That is like great, greater and greatest in English. Then mahattamam and mahattaram. This is what the comparative degrees in Sanskrit is actually, across the board. Tama antara, like greater and greatest, like that. So, bhoge mahattaram lava prasakto ishat eva he. And in the other types of mind, there is also a bit of sukham. It means in the tamasic and rajasic mind there is some sukham, but if the mind is really shanta, this degree will increase. If the mind is rajasic, tamasic, this degree will be less. But in the acquisition of object, this is what is happening now. What is happening? The quietude comes in the mind, and that time the person gets some joy. Now see, this is one time thing. What had actually been spoken about in the beginning is a person who has shanta vritti in his mind all the time, or a person who is by nature shanta, a person who is by nature rajasic, who is the ghora vritti in his mind all the time, rajasic person, and a tamasic person who has his mura vritti all the time. So that was presented like that. Now here, a person who has this object, some desire for objects, he is called rajasic person, desire for this object. Such a person, when he gets it, there is temporary shanta, isn't it? And so his joy also becomes temporary, because after the fulfillment of that one desire, he gets the object. Then what happens? Things don't simmer down. That simmers down only for a moment. After he gets that thing, I told her that desire is fulfilled. Then he had priya and moda, and he had pramoda, then mahattaram. But that was only that end is only the beginning of a new cycle for him. He goes now again. And that's why I told, anything happens after that karma is trouble. Anything that happens after that karma is trouble. So just now was described, when that karma is there, if somebody obstructs, he gets angry. If conditions are not favorable, he hates. If he realizes he cannot get it, and he doesn't have anybody to get angry with, he gets depressed. But something will happen. Here, one more thing is telling. If he gets it also now, then greed will come. Low, because that is only the end of one cycle. He wants it again and again, and he must have it, or addiction will come. No, how karma could lead to anything good? That is the idea. Lava prasakto ishat eva he sukham means ishat eva sukham. He means one little bit of joy is there, even the expectation of getting that object. That's called a priya. Now this sattvic joy is described. So that was the joy that comes from a rajasic mind. Mahattamam viraktau tu Vidyanande tadiritam Evam kshantau tathau dharye Krodhalobha nivaranam Nivaranat Krodhalobha nivaranat Mahattamam viraktau tu Vidyanande tadiritam. Tadiritam means in the Vidyanande, it means the previous chapter. The previous chapter was called as Vidyanande Brahmananda, means the joy from Vidya, knowledge. So in the previous chapter, it says, it is already told that Mahattamam viraktau tu evam kshantau tatha audarye krodha lobha nivaranat. When there is the shanta vritti in the mind, the quiet vritti in the mind, such a mind that is characterized by vairagya. We had seen that previously also in this chapter only. Actually, in the final analysis, this is the whole crux of the matter. A mind that is totally detached is a mind that is absolutely happy. That is all. This whole thing can be summed up just like that. A mind that is detached, detached from everything, that mind is peaceful, and the peaceful mind is happy. What a simple thing, what a simple equation. A mind that is constantly attached to this and constantly attached to that, and a mind that feels it has this thing to achieve and that thing to achieve, this thing to get and acquire and all, and goes on like that. If I feel I have this thing to achieve and that thing to achieve, that is only attachment. A mind that is totally detached from everything, that mind really is quiet and peaceful and happy. Detached, quiet, peaceful, happy. That is the idea, like that. And attached, well, agitated. See how this will work. Attached leads to agitated. Agitated now, the arrows from agitated will go. That will be anger, hate, jealousy. Just now what is that? Depression, despair, despondent. Anything can come then or thereafter. From that, so many arrows go. And here, detached, quiet, peaceful, happy. That arrow is only going one way, like that. So, that mind which has now detached itself, in 12th chapter Bhagavan says that Tyagat Shanti Anantaram, immediately follows from Tyag means. But you know that from ordinary life, that's not Anubhuti it was telling. From ordinary life we know that. Look here, you start practicing this, you will see the moment you can drop anything, the degree of peace is just phenomenal. All our agitation and despair and this and that, all the things that we have, it just be attached to something or the next. There's attachment, there's so much of agitation. And the ability to drop also is a big ability we have to develop. You don't get it overnight. You just don't get it by saying also. The ability to drop is just turn right there. One way to drop also is to see what is called dukkha dosha. How much sorrow acting is causing me? People are not able to see that. I'm so miserable because of that one silly little thing. And brahmataram viraktau tu vidyanande tadiditam evam kshantau tatha audarye krodha lova nivaram. When this rajasic nature of the mind is given up and the kshanta vritti is taken, And Vairagya gets developed, then that whole accommodativeness is the word given, Kshanti. Accommodativeness and Audharya, large-heartedness. These things are spoken about. They dawn on such a mind. And now, the source of whatever happiness we experience, he reminds us, very importantly, is Brahman only. Yad yad sukham bhavet tat tat Brahmeva pratibimbanat vrittishvantar mukha swasya nirvignam pratibimbanam. Yadyat sukham bhavet tat Brahma eva pratibimbanat. Whatever sukha we are experiencing, and that is now just to remind us that the sukha which I am experiencing from an object, see, Gurudev said take a middle position. What is our position now? Our position is this. The sukha which we are experiencing from any object, that is called a sukha dhyas. I just told you that. We are superimposing sukha. It is not in the object. It is from me only. I superimpose on that object. So, our position is what? The self only is the source of all sukha. The object has zero sukha. So, there is object with zero and self with 100%. Right? There is 0%, 100%. This is the position of Vedanta. Just Gurudev so nicely taught this world, you know. To move society and humanity and Hindus from where they were after independence in India to where they should go, Mahatmas have such compassion and they think so much about the welfare of the world that, like a child, you don't make a child stand up and walk on the first day. First he has to creep and then walk. So they have all of that awareness and consciousness, and society becomes their child. So his middle position was, yes, there is joy in the coffee. He used to tell very loudly. And the middle position, notice, there is joy in the coffee, but it is temporary. That is the middle position. It is temporary. In other words, to take us, to put a stepping stone to the higher understanding. There actually there is no joy in the coffee. You superimpose joy like the camel. This is temporary, and antavat. Antavat means has an end, and that antavatvam actually gives sorrow to human beings. Antavatvam, the impermanence of things. Meaning to say, when I have something which I like, I don't want it to go away. But the nature, because it's impermanent, it will go away. So the going away is sorrow. That is the aspect of temporariness which brings sorrow. I don't want it to go. And the nature of the world is what I want to go, it doesn't go. And what I want not to go, it goes. What a wonderful world. I don't want this thing to go, it goes. That one I want to go, how long I waiting? Go now. Doesn't go. It just stays there. So, this is the middle position. Yes, that there is joy in objects, but it is temporary. Like that. That is just a stepping stone. If you could jump, look here. Some people can jump from this side of the river to that side in one jump. Don't jump. Some people need a stepping stone. Put a stone in the middle, you take one step there and then one step there. In Trinidad we say rivers because in Trinidad all rivers are about that size only. When people come from Guyana, they can see our river, Caroni River, they laugh. When we show them, see, first 2-3 times some Guyanese people I was taking, and I'm passing by Caroni. I said, look, this is our biggest river in Trinidad. They laughed at me like anything. After that, when I'm passing there, I look straight. I never tell any Guyanese person, look, this is our biggest river. Any other person. I don't tell. If they ask, what is that? Tell them they are drain. Anyway, so this, some people can make one. In fact, one Guyanese person told me that. He said, if a dog chases you, you jump over it. That is the biggest river. If a dog chases you, jump over that thing. Some people can jump over, some people need a stepping stone. Anyway, so now, yadyat sukham bhavet tat brahma eva pratibimbanat. It is because of the reflection of Brahman only in that thing that thing gives joy. That thing doesn't have any intrinsic joy, nothing innate. Vrittishu antarmukha su asya nirvighnam pratibimbanam. It means to say, if that person is antarmukha. Antarmukha means an introverted person. An introvert, antarmukha. Anybody who is antarmukha means bahirmukhi, antarmukhi. These are the two words. One who is extroverted totally, bahirmukhi. And antarmukhi means so now, if he is antarmukhi, is an introvert, and he goes inside and is able to keep that shanta vritti in his mind. Shanta vritti. He says that time the bimbanam is a reflection. The bimbanam is nirvignam. Nirvignam means it is unobstructed. The reflection of the bliss or joy in his heart is unobstructed, and so he experiences full joy. And this accords very much with ordinary life also, and it's very applicable in ordinary life. The conclusion of all of this is joy, and the experience of joy is 100% wholly dependent on the state of mind. This is, see, I have given you that very contrasting example of a person who is sitting in a movie theater and his nice AC. Nowadays, all movie theaters have AC and all. In the old days, nobody knew what that was. Sitting in a very comfortable, nice chair and everything, and he has all his popcorn and soft drink and he's enjoying his most favorite movie also, right? And in the middle of the movie, somebody comes and just tells him in his ear, his closest relative has died. Now, none of the circumstances outside have changed. They are all remaining same. Movie is there, AC is there, everything, popcorn is there. Nobody took his popcorn. But something went inside and the mind got disturbed. When the mind got disturbed, any chance of enjoying any movie or any of that thing there anymore, even though everything is there, the enjoyment of anything there is not possible anymore. That is all gone. So the enjoyment is wholly 100% dependent on the condition of the mind. 100%, whatever it is. And here, in this last verse which is being said, which is what is being told there, if that person has become 100% introvert, meaning he has gone inside and has really made that mind calm, then there is no obstruction of, see, in Bhagavad Gita, Guruna api vichalyate, Bhagavan says, even the greatest sorrow, you can come and tell him, whoever died, that greatest sorrow, which is sorrow for an ordinary person, for such a person, that also will not affect that man. But he has to be antarmukhi, introverted. And so he removes all obstruction of the reflection of that joy. Antarmukhi will be the one who is really gone inside and quieted that mind and keeps it quiet. One who has practiced Brahmakara, meditation on Brahmakara vritti, where Brahmakara vritti in the mind mimics the nature of Brahman. You know, from the practice of things, you can bring your mind to different states, isn't it? From the practice of the Brahmakara vritti, meditation on that Brahman, by use of that vritti, one can make his mind very peaceful and calm. For such a person, it becomes nirvignam. What becomes nirvignam? Pratibimbanam. Nirvignam pratibimbanam. The reflection of joy is without any obstacles. Such a person, what is nandati? Nandatyeva yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihina. Whatever he is doing, he is all the time enjoying only. That is the one who is said, he is not deluded by anything in this world. Everything is a joy. That time you don't need entertainment of the movies and all. Alright. Now, Guruji says an introduction to meditation on Brahman is given in the following 3 verses. We'll have to see those 3 in one grasp. We'll see that tomorrow now. Now we only have Friday and Saturday. And 15 verses. Huh? Yeah, nothing. Finish tomorrow itself.